Hey, my name is Andy Villon. This is the beginning of a series of videos that will be 4 or so minutes each. So in this first video, I'll tell you about my story, how I got to be an artist, and how I learned art. So as far back as I can remember, I've enjoyed drawing and coloring. When I was a kid, I would do little sketches. When I was in middle school, I lived part of the time in South America, Ecuador. I didn't really like school or enjoy doing schoolwork. My mom would have me write short stories, and I had a little aviary of parakeets. I would write short stories of what my parakeets would have adventures, and as a project for school, I would do little cartoons of the birds, their adventures going along with what I wrote. So that's how I got really into drawing, and I can remember spending days in my room when it was hot and we didn't have any air conditioning because we lived in a small town on the coast of Ecuador. So I would just spend my afternoons drawing and sketching these little cartoons. Along then, I had various mentors. In the summertime, my family and I would come back to the States, to South Carolina, and we would stay here. Sometimes I would take like a little short art course. I would get some training there. Over the years, both in South America and here, I had various art teachers and mentors, people that taught me art and helped me develop my skill and would work with me and do creative projects with me. I had this one mentor. I can remember living on the coast of Ecuador and being right, like literally right by the water, by the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. He was kind of a hobbyist painter, and he was very kind of dreamy and whimsical in his way. Him and his wife were there, and he would teach me painting skills with acrylic. And at that time, he would use these old Avon posters, the back of the poster that was white, for painting because it was hard to come by canvases to paint on, and it was expensive in Ecuador. And he would use also Avon canvases, and that's how I got into the world of acrylic painting and some of the techniques that he taught me I still use to this day. And then later on, when I was in high school, I moved back to the States. I started with another mentor, a lady, and then later on I had another gentleman. He came to my house once a week and would work with me. I loved his style of teaching. He was very laid back, very relaxed, very chilled. They would just say, hey, what do you want to draw? What do you want to paint? I was really into portraits back then. He was a professional watercolorist. So later on, he got me into watercolors. In the school I was in, I had to do various projects that involved me doing a painting, and I had to draw a painting of Robinson Crusoe and the island. And later on, I read The Tale of Two Cities and drew a little painting for the English teacher about that. And that's where I really got into watercolors and learned a lot then. And then after graduating, um, Bruce got sick, stopped the classes or put them on pause, and I continued to develop my art skills. I have a disability, so I wasn't able to work a regular job, and I wanted to really focus on doing my own art. So I kept on practicing. By the way, if you're watching this video, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you think and what else you want me to talk about in the future. One of my first videos on YouTube is a drawing of a tiger. If you go back, it's around 2014. That was one of my watercolor and gouache paintings I did as my first YouTube video. And that was when I was really into watercolors and really focusing on that. From there, I got into drawing and painting things, more cityscapes, and I would kind of start and stop and have really intense periods of drawing and painting a lot, and then kind of pause, take a break, do other things, and get distracted, and I'll talk about that in another video. And then later on, around 2020, 2021, I found Posca markers and really started getting into them. If you look at all of my artwork nowadays, it's mostly all Poscas and mixed in with acrylic paint and maybe here and there some colored pencils. So yeah, that's my story in a nutshell. brief overview as this first video. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something about me, and let me know your story, how you got into art, how you kind of found your area of drawing, what you like about it. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.